Good morning. My name is Quill Ferguson. Folks, you are moments away from experiencing the mind of Evie Bartlett. Having known this girl for about 14 years, I've been lucky enough to witness many iterations of her being, including but not limited to, from the horse shirt she used to wear all the time, our shared emo phases, and the roles she has flawlessly embodied on stage. I know for a fact that at least I, if not the entire senior class, would not be the same without her, as her influence knows no bounds. For instance, I never would have bought those pink 8-inch platforms that I wore every day in 8th grade if she had never texted me the link to them saying I would, quote, look pog in them. Evie is truly one of the funniest, kindest, most talented people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and nothing I could say in 90 seconds could ever be enough to describe her, so I'll let her speak for herself. Without further delay, I give you the Weezer wizard herself, Evelyn Nickel Bartlett.
A lot of you that have known me for a long time know that I used to draw a lot. In middle school, I would cover my notes in doodles, take any sort of after-school art classes offered by Mrs. Garrott, and constantly be drawing and painting in the comfort of my room at home. Throughout ages 11 to 15, art supplies were about half the presents I received for Christmas. I even made art in high school because I took an art class freshman year. Sophomore year, I decided not to take an elective because of my overflowing schedule. Slowly, my motivation for making art faded, and I began to not create at all because of my focus on school. My grades got better that year, and I didn't think anything of it. My junior year, I had to drop the spring musical Legally Blonde because I was overwhelmed with work after having the flu for an entire week. I kicked my leg for allowing myself to quit, but I felt like I needed one thing that I didn't have to worry about and allow me to keep up in pre-cal and complete all my missing assignments. After not doing any extracurriculars for a month, my grades skyrocketed. This is completely out of the ordinary given I'm a consistent B student. One day, one of my teachers came up to me and said, I'm not sure what you're doing differently, but whatever it is, keep doing it because your grades are astounding right now. And that teacher was right. I had jumped from a low 80 average within both previous quarters to a 101. Later that same day, I sat there without a clue as to why this was. Why are my grades suddenly so good? Am I just less tired? On Valentine's Day, Mrs. Fletcher came up to me to catch up. She said, we've been missing you in art class. Have you kept painting like you used to? It hit me as the disappointment in myself settled inside of me. I had gradually sacrificed all of my hobbies, everything I enjoyed, for the numbers that would one day be printed onto a transcript and judged by complete strangers. I became so invested in my grades and my uncertainty of the future that I had lost my personality. I remembered this quote that said, we don't stop playing because we grow up. We grow up because we stop playing. I realized that this is what was happening to me. I was growing up. If this is what growing up means, then I don't want it. I mean, eventually everyone donates their old box of Polly Pockets to their little sister. Everyone graduates towards coffee and a granola bar for breakfast instead of eating Fruit Loops in your pajamas at the countertop of your childhood home. Everyone shoves their Dora-themed bed sheets in storage immediately upon receiving a new, plainly colored set of sheets. How could I just accept the fact that this supposedly happens to everyone and is currently happening to me? I couldn't accept the idea that I would always be too exhausted to think on my own, to create something that I thought of myself, not as a way to get that good grade or earn a bonus point. It hurts to mourn the life-filled child that you once were, and that's okay. But what matters is that you embrace the person that you are becoming. But don't do that without losing sight of what you enjoy. Not what style of makeup is trending, or what your parents think your lineup of AP classes should consist of, or where you decide to go after a busy school day. My senior class, we've been watching each other grow up for nearly 15 years now. We watched everyone eventually stop wearing JoJo bows, making the most vile musicals known to man, and throw out those musty sheen puka shell necklaces. Upon entering senior year, I have realized maybe growing up is a good thing. Of course, it's nice to remember the outrageous amount of poor behavior committed in the lower school cafeteria during pursuits, or the old gym before the AC went out in 2017, or the basement that the 5th and 6th graders used to eat lunch in together and how there were no windows. It is normal to feel a sense of longing when looking at your past, but what counts is the attitude with which you look at your future. I implore each of you, whether you're sitting on the left or right side of the church, the front or the back, or standing on the side, regardless of what point you are at in life, keep doing what you love. Thank you.